oil drift or anything, and it's just how I do it myself and thought it would be helpful for some of you. Anyway, to be a good drifter, for the first thing, you need a good car with a good tune. So after this video, all of you guys will be able to apply the best tune in any game because I'm going to tell you what each setting does and what's the best. If you have any requests, suggestions or questions, I always read and do my best to answer all the comments. Well, if it wasn't a silly question like what's the game, and if you fund my content in a useful way like and a sub will be appreciated. Hope you enjoy. Okay, first thing, get a rear-wheel drive car. Don't go for any shit like a Civic or something. For this car, the stock engine goes to maximum around 600 horsepower, which wasn't enough for me because it's a huge open map, we need a lot of power. But if you play any game with some drift tracks or so, 600 should be enough, and if you want it to be a chill 90 car, 600 is enough. This engine part is basically depends to you, but I will explain all. Okay, first thing, all the parts have a rank thing, which if it says a part is racing doesn't mean O, is for drag or race, so the more to the right is better. Basically ultimate is the best you can get, but if you're new to the game, you can get the parts slowly one by one. And do not go for 2JZ engine for this car. It doesn't perform good in this game, keep either stock or LSS V8, but be careful, some cars are way better with stock engine. And in order to have this part of the settings unlocked, you need to have to at least have parts on racing or better. Basically, the more these are, the more power you get. If the car is overpowered, you can lower these. So the first are not really important, but the torque settings are important. Basically, if as soon as you tap the gas, your RPM reaches the max. We don't want that, so you can help it by lowering these. Guys, again, for the gearbox, don't just go and swap the whole thing, because again, for some cars, the stock gearbox is better. The first option is very obvious. The less it is, the faster you can change gears. That's that. The final drive is basically changes your overall gearing. So the smaller you make it, the faster you need to change gears, and the opposite, I prefer it at near to 3. And guys, we don't want just a car to just get top speed, so don't kill the performance to get higher top speed, it's just wrong. And for example, if you think, oh, when I'm in gear 3 the RMP just hits the max, you need to make the gear a bit bigger, and the opposite, it's different for every car with different power. Just put something close to me, or just play with them to find the sweat spot, or just don't change them. And the transmission losses helps you to change gears better and faster, so the less it is, the better it is. And lock acceleration is very useful when it comes to drifting. Imagine you are going with max speed and you downshift. Well, now if you have lock acceleration, it will lock the back tires to slow down the car. Basically work kinda like a handbrake. But if you don't have it when you downshift and if you press the acceleration, the cars is like out of breath. For body parts, don't care if that makes your top speed lower. We want best performance for a drift car. If you make the weight less, it basically makes the car quicker, but it will go less wider. But if you put it higher, it drifts smoother but less aggressively. And do not make weight distribution in front higher. It makes the car like a boat and doesn't let it slide. Same for center of the mass height, the lower the better. And you should know what downforce means, but if you don't, imagine you jump from a ramp. If you have more downforce, you will not jump higher and you will get back down faster. I hope that explains enough. Well, anyway, we don't need downforce for drifting. And make the air resistance less because it makes you more aerodynamic, which allows you to drift a little faster. Okay, for the spring section, the spring length simply makes it longer or shorter, which based on preference, but for the stiffness, when it's higher, car is more likely to drift. If you don't know what spring is, it's these. I personally have the front stiffness lower and the back higher, which makes me to get more angle. But again, if you thought, oh, I could really use some more grip on the back, then you come here and lower than the back stiffness. And let me explain this one like this. Imagine you jumped a little, but when you land, the car is bouncing left and right and you lost control. Well, more stabilizer helps that. Okay, more negative camber gives more grip, but not too much. Never put max camber, it lost a lot of performance, and positive camber give less grip. I have mine like that, you can copy me. Caster angle is this. For the short cars I have it on like 7 or 8, but for longer cars I have it on 10. Ackerman angle basically locks the wheels to not oversteer. I have it on around 40, and for steering angle always go with around 60, and to be honest, I don't know what exactly wheel toe does, but it helps a lot. I just have it on 0.2. And these just affect the suspension. I don't know how to explain them, but just keep the to a number close to what I have. The highest and lowest can be different for every car, and for the LATS 1 braking force makes the brakes stronger, and the higher brake balance helps to get more angle while braking. For the tires, I like to go with the biggest rims as possible because the wider the tires is makes to have more traction with the ground, so can drift faster with that grip, and I prefer the front one a little smaller than the back rims. And for the tires, the thinner one gives less grip and the thicker one more. And I like the tire pressure on low because it gives more grip, which allows me to keep on better in the sharper bends. And guys, this is not my best ride, just want to show the performance. Anyway, hope it be useful because this video takes me hours to make, and I will upload the part 2 as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.
Bicycle beat goes kind of high.